Have you ever wondered what you're really paying for when you get a new car? It's so much more than just that sticker price. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden financial truths that, let's be honest, dealerships really hope you never figure out. Okay, let's just dive right in.
So our whole story kicks off with a simple mystery. You've got three friends, all doing pretty well for themselves, and they all decide to buy the exact same car. But 5 years down the road, two of them are feeling a serious financial pinch, while one is a whole lot wealthier. How on earth is that possible? The secret isn't about the car they picked. It all comes down to a single decision they each made on day one.
All right, let's meet the crew. Nam, Hui, and Min. They've all got their eyes on a brand new 1 billion VND Toyota Camry. For them, it's a symbol of success, it's convenient, but the way they each get the keys, well, their paths could not be more different.
Okay, first up we have Nam. He's the conservative one. He pays the full billion VND right up front, all cash. His whole philosophy is super simple. No debt, no worries. Easy enough. Then you've got Hui, who kind of sees himself as the smart financial player. He puts down just 200 million, finances the rest over 5 years, and thinks, hey, I'm smartly leveraging the bank's money. And finally, there's Min, and he does something that his friends think is just hilarious. He doesn't buy the car at all. Instead, he takes that exact same billion VND and invests it.
So let's fast forward 5 years. And the results? They're absolutely shocking. Nam's priced car, it's lost more than half its value. Hui is completely worn out financially, having paid an insane amount in just interest. And Min? Well, Min's investment portfolio has grown so much he could walk into a dealership today, buy 3 brand new cameras with cash, and still have money left in the bank. So what in the world happened here?
So the first big secret is this. You have to realize that the price tag you see in the showroom is just the tiny tip of a massive financial iceberg. It's everything hiding under the water that's going to sink your finances. Let's do a really quick, rapid-fire breakdown of all the costs you just never see coming.
The second you agree to that 1 billion VND price, bam, you get slammed with what they call on-road costs. We're talking registration tax, license plate fees, inspection fees, road maintenance, and just like that, before you've even driven a single kilometer, about 150 million VND has just vanished from your account. Poof, it's gone, and you are never, ever getting that back.
And that's when the real feeding of the car begins. Because every single month, that thing is hungry. It needs gasoline, it needs parking fees, both at your home and at work, it needs mandatory insurance, regular maintenance. All in, you're looking at a relentless drain on your bank account of about 8 to 12 million VND every single month.
Now here's what's so wild about this. When you really put it into perspective, that monthly cost adds up to an insane amount. Each year, the money you're spending just to keep that car on the road is enough to go out and buy a brand new, top-of-the-line SH scooter. You are literally burning one scooter's worth of cash every single year.
Okay, but what about Hunkei's Smart Loan? This is where the story goes from just being expensive to being downright deceptive. This is the trap that snares, get this, 70% of car buyers. So right now, I want you to think of me as your personal financial advisor. We're going to sit down, and we are going to analyze Hunkei's 5-year loan file together.
The sales pitch, it always sounds so good, doesn't it? Hey, just a small down payment and your monthly payments are basically your coffee budget. They make it sound so easy, so effortless. But behind that casual language is a calculated mathematical trick, and it's designed to get the absolute maximum amount of money from you. So listen up, because this is the most important part. They advertise something called a flat rate, and it sounds incredibly low, right? Something like only 0.6% a month. But here's the scam. That 0.6% is calculated on the original 800 million VND you borrowed for the entire 5 years. You see the problem? It means in year 4, when you might only owe 200 million, you're still paying interest as if you owe the full 800 million. The real honest interest rate, the one they don't talk about, the declining balance rate, is effectively double what they told you. That low 0.6% is actually costing you 1.2% per month. It's a total trick.
Oh, but it gets worse. Of course it does. The loan doesn't come by itself. It brings its followers. You're forced to buy the bank's overpriced insurance. You get hit with appraisal fees, notary fees. And here's the real kicker. If you get a bonus from work and you try to pay the loan off early to save on all that interest, they punish you with a massive penalty fee. They want you trapped for the full 5 years.
So, after 5 years of making all those payments, what was the final bill for Hui's smart financing move? The total interest he paid on that 800 million VND loan came to a jaw-dropping 320 million VND. That is just pure profit for the bank, paid for by 5 years of his hard work.
And this right here shows you the real cost. That 320 million VND, it's not just some abstract number on a page. It's a 30% down payment on an apartment, an asset that actually grows in value. Instead of building equity in a home for his family, Hui spent 5 years building equity for his bank.
But here's the really scary part. Even if you pay cash, like our friend Nam, you cannot escape the two biggest wealth destroyers of car ownership. These are the silent killers. They're working in the background, just draining your net worth, whether you have a loan or not.
Killer number 1 is called depreciation. A brand new car starts losing value the second you drive it off the lot. After 5 years, Nam's 1 billion VND Camry is now worth maybe 500 million. He has lost $500 million VND just because time passed. It's like waking up every single morning and finding 300,000 VND just vanished from your wallet.
Now the second killer is even more brutal: opportunity cost. This is the thing the wealthy never, ever ignore. So let's go back to Min. Instead of buying the car, he invested that same billion VND. After 5 years, with a pretty reasonable growth rate, his investment is now worth 1.6 billion. So Nam has an asset worth 500 million, Min has an asset worth 1.6 billion. You see that 1.1 billion VND difference? That is the true cost of owning that car.
Let's just be brutally honest for a second. When you add the 500 million that was lost to depreciation to the 1.1 billion in lost opportunity, the true 5-year cost of that car isn't 1 billion. It's over 1.6 billion. You're not just buying a mode of transportation. You are literally setting fire to a future asset.
And this all brings us back to Min, the friend who took the other path. You see, his win wasn't about sacrifice. Not at all. It was about adopting a mindset of an undercover millionaire, which always prioritizes financial freedom over just owning physical things.
So where did Min work his so-called magic? Well, it wasn't magic at all, actually. It was pretty boring. He put his money into stable, low-risk options, like an index fund that just tracks the top 30 companies in Vietnam, the VN30, or in some blue-chip, large-cap stocks. There were no crypto gambles, no risky bets. He just aimed for a steady, achievable return of about 12% a year and simply let the power of compound interest do all the heavy lifting for him.
But the real return for Min wasn't just financial. He bought back his peace of mind. No more stressing about finding a parking spot, no anxiety over a tiny scratch in the paint, no time wasted on maintenance appointments. That 30 minutes he spent in a rideshare, that became his time to read, to answer emails, or just to think. He wasn't just richer in money, he was richer in time and focus.
In this whole story, it leads to a really fundamental question. What is true luxury? I mean, we've been conditioned our whole lives to believe it's about the brand emblem on the hood, right? Or the feel of the leather seats. But maybe, just maybe, we've been sold the wrong definition of success. So here's a new definition for you to think about. True luxury isn't owning an object that just ties you down. It's the financial freedom to choose. It is the power that comes from having a bank balance that lets you decide on any given day to fly to another country, take a train, or even rent a supercar for a weekend, all without ever stressing about the cost. That is real freedom. So if you're still thinking about buying a car, look, this doesn't mean you shouldn't. It just means you need to be ruthlessly honest with yourself. Are you ready for what's called the 24-10 rule? Can you put down at least 20% in cash, finance it for no more than 4 years, and make sure your total monthly car expenses are less than 10% of your gross income? If the answer isn't a clear and immediate yes, you might be about to buy a very, very expensive ticket to a 5-year financial headache. So, what choice will you make?
So, you're thinking about buying a car. Awesome. But hold on. Before you even think about setting foot in a showroom, we need to have a serious chat. Think of this as a crucial financial health check, your safety harness for what's probably one of the biggest purchases you'll ever make.
Because let's be real for a second. That shiny dream car can so easily become a financial nightmare. So the big question we're going to tackle is this. Is the car you've got your eye on actually a smart move for your life? Or is it a trap just waiting to drain your bank account?
Okay, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute golden rule for buying a car. Then we'll break down what the real costs are, because it's more than you think. I'll share a little secret for saving a ton of money, then we'll put you through a quick financial test. And finally, we'll figure out your verdict and what to do next.
First things first, you need to memorize this. It's the 24-10 rule.
This isn't just a guideline. It's your non-negotiable financial safety harness. It's specifically designed to keep you from making a really, really big mistake.
It's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. First, you need a 20% down payment, minimum. Why? Well, a new car loses a chunk of its value the instant you drive it off the lot. That down payment is your buffer. It stops you from being upside down on your loan, where you owe more than the car is even worth. Second, a 4-year maximum loan. Dealers love to tempt you with 7- or 8-year loans to make the monthly payment look tiny. It's a trap. Right around year 5, the big, expensive maintenance issues start popping up, and the last thing you want is to be paying for a new transmission while you're still paying off the original loan. And third, this is the big one. Your total car expenses cannot be more than 10% of your income.
Now, let's zoom in on that 10% rule, because this is where so many people get it wrong.
That 10% is not just your monthly payment. No. It is the total cost of ownership. We're talking the whole shebang: the loan payment, the interest, gas, parking, insurance, oil changes, new tires, all of it. Every single car-related cost has to fit neatly into that 10% slice of your take-home pay.
So let's put some real numbers to this. The source had a great example. Say you make 50 million Vietnamese dong a month. Your absolute hard limit budget for everything car-related is 5 million VND. That's it. If your math shows it's going to cost you more than that, then I'm sorry, but that car is just too expensive for you right now.
And this leads us to a really critical question. Just take a moment and be honest with yourself. Are you buying this car to make your life better? Or are you about to start working just to pay for your car? This is a really good time to pause and just think about that before we go any further. Okay, now that we have the rules down, let's talk strategy. There is a serious pro tip that smart buyers use to get an amazing car without getting financially wrecked. And the secret is all about beating something called depreciation. You see, a brand new car's value drops like a rock in the first couple of years, sometimes losing up to 30% of its price tag. That initial free fall is what you absolutely want to avoid. The magic happens right around the 2-year mark. That's the sweet spot where the value drop starts to level off.
So what is this sweet spot? It's a car that's about 2 or 3 years old. It's basically still new, probably still under warranty, has all the modern tech you want, but it costs a whole lot less. A great little trick is to look for cars coming off a 2 or 3 year lease. By doing this, you're letting the first owner pay for the most expensive part of the car's life, that brutal initial drop in value. Just think about it for a second. Calculate what 30% off your dream car would be. That's a massive saving.
Okay, now I'm going to put on my financial advisor hat. What's coming next isn't just friendly advice. I want you to treat this as a mandatory self-assessment. Be honest with your answers to these next 3 questions. Seriously, your financial future could depend on it. First up, the motivation check. Why do you really want this car? Is it for a genuine need, like a safer way to get your family around, or a crazy long commute? Or is it maybe, just maybe, about impressing your friends, your family, or the neighbors? There's no judgment here, but you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Second, the numbers check. Go back to that golden rule we talked about, the 20-4-10. Can you actually hit all 3 targets? A 20% down payment, a loan of 4 years or less, and keep all costs under 10% of your income? No fudging the numbers. This is a straight-up yes or no. And finally, the opportunity cost check. The down payment, the monthly costs, that's a lot of money. If you didn't buy this car, what else could you do with that cash? If you invested it instead, where could you be financially in 5 years? Just imagine that potential for a second.
All right, you did the work, you answered the questions, now it's time to see the results. Based on your honest answers, let's find out exactly where you stand.
It really comes down to this. If your motivation is solid and you can honestly say, yes, you can strictly follow the 24-10 rule, then congratulations, you are financially ready for a car. But if you hesitated on your true motivation, or if the answer to the money question was a no, then the verdict is just as clear. You need to review your spending. Now, that's not a failure, it's actually a gift. It's a warning sign telling you to hit the pause button, rethink your budget, or maybe look for a more affordable car.
And that is what this is all about, isn't it? This whole framework isn't designed to stop you from having nice things. It's designed to make sure the things you own actually serve you. Your car should be a tool that gives you freedom and makes your life easier, not a beautiful, expensive prison that traps you in debt.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one last thought. The choice is yours. Are you chasing a flashy look for today,
Or are you building real, lasting financial freedom for all your tomorrows? I really hope this helps you choose wisely.